Hi and welcome. I'm Vanessa from Being Yoga. Let's get started straight away. So in diamond pose, you can lift and open through the chest as you inhale, and with your exhale, rocking back, just getting you started straight away before you change videos. So this will be a full body flow. You might like to have a block handy if you're blessed with tight or strong hamstrings. And feel free to adapt any poses as you need to. So let's add another breath in here. Inhale to lift. And exhale, folding yourself forward and the hands down the legs, inhaling to slide the hands back up, and exhaling, rocking back, chin into the chest. Inhale to lift, just a few rounds like this. Connecting breath and movement, which is the essence of Vinyasa, exhaling. And making this your last exhale in the forward fold, and perhaps interlacing the fingers. You could be up higher if you need to, or sink in lower. As long as it's not too electrical in the back of the neck, you can just allow yourself to bow the head forward and down, letting the frontal lobe cool, and any thoughts of the day, thoughts of your life, just start to settle like the sediment in a calm, still lake. And then inhaling to make your way up. You can circle the arms all the way out and up. And exhale to twist yourself off to the right. And use the right hand behind you to inhale, lift, and create more length through the spine. Exhale, twist yourself around a little further. Then keep the left hand where it is and inhale the right arm up and lengthening over to the left side, and elongate, lengthen that right knee away. So you've got a bit of resistance there. The hand is drawing the knee towards it, but the knee is resisting and pressing away as much as you're able to. And then crossing over. Microphones don't like this. I like to go palms out to get a feeling of stretch through the posterior deltoid, and good idea to have the arms straight here if you can. And then inhaling to circle the arms around, let the palms touch. Exhale to release and interlace the fingers behind the back of the body. As you inhale, lift and open through the chest. Keep the hands there, but release the interlace. And I like to go fingers pointing back towards the corners of the mat. Press down through the feet. The feet are hip-width apart and parallel, and then lifting up if this is okay for you. So of course you could be on fists. You could look forward, but if you're able to, then maybe relaxing the head back. And drive down through the inner heel to lift the hips up. Squeeze the glutes and lift the hips up a little higher. And then bringing the hips forward and down, and use the hands for support to come through a malasana or a squat position. So feel free to have the heels up if you need to, or having the heels down if you're able to. And bring the right hand down, send the left arm up, and wrapping or sending that left arm back as far as you can, and coming back to namaste and over to the other side. Twisting and opening, a little bit of an awkward position, but I know you're up for it. Channel as much grace as you can. And then releasing down. Lift halfway up. You might like to walk forward a little here and have the feet hip-width apart and parallel. Lift halfway up as you inhale, and as you exhale, fold yourself in. Come on up, pressing through the feet to reverse swan dive. Coming all the way up, let the palms touch, and exhaling down through a chair pose. Waking the legs up, press through the feet, inhale, reach long, and exhaling into that like a winged warrior chair pose position. And then one last time like that. And you can continue to do that, or this is great to just let go of the day. If it's okay for you. And one last time, let it go. That's it. Inhale to come all the way up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale into a halfway lift. And then just working through a namaskar type movement, or a lunge movement. So stepping the right foot back and lowering down. Inhale to sweep the arms up, and exhaling the hands down. Inhale, step forward into your halfway lift. And exhale the left leg back, lowering the back knee down. Inhale to sweep the arms up. Exhale, finding the earth. And let's keep going, finding a smooth rhythm. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot steps all the way back and finds the earth. Inhaling, floating up. So we might move at different times here. Generally, it's good to try and move smoothly, which nourishes the nervous system. Left leg steps now. And moving slowly. So it's kind of like the counter to modern day life that can be fast and erratic. So make sure your yoga practice doesn't exacerbate that. Let's step the right foot back. Optional to now have the back leg straight. Inhaling to take the arms up, or you've got the back knee on the floor. Inhale, step forward, halfway lift. Exhaling, left leg steps all the way back. Nice, generous length and smooth movements. Inhaling forward, and right leg again. Exhale back, inhale to lift. Exhale, finding the earth. Thanks for being here with me. It's nice to have you. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left leg steps back. Smooth movement. So this is our last one. Enjoying, savoring that. And then planting the hands, you can step back into plank. So just zipping up your plank, feel free to have the knees on the floor, but zipping up from inner heels to pubic bone, work the glutes, and then from pubic bone to breastbone, and sending the chest forward as you then lower yourself down. Rise up into Shalabhasana. And coming with the palms facing down, little micro bend in the elbows. Let's go with a micro bend in the knees as well. Ah, it's really hot here. I hope you're enjoying something about the seasons. This too shall pass. So inhale and lift a little higher. Go palms facing down, and like you're pressing into basketballs to tone through the upper back. See if you can lift yourself up a little higher. And then exhaling to come down. Pillow the hands, rest the forehead onto the hands. And you could take this, bending the knees up and taking this like a windscreen wiper movement through the legs. Let the spine be affected by that. And let's continue with a little bit more back strengthening. So you want to, we'll be pulsing with the breath. And this is our exhale position with the elbows close to the side waist. The inhale, you could open the arms to the side, or maybe stretching super person position. So let's come up into this Shalabhasana. So this is our exhale shape, and really squeezing the elbows in and toning the upper back. And then inhale and opening out. And exhale, lift a little higher. Inhale to open out. And exhaling, lift the thighs, lift the torso. A couple more times like this. And last one, enjoying, savoring that. Good job. All right, release down. Come into a Sphinx position. So in your Sphinx, you've got the train track forearms. Look into the belly, lift the belly, and then sending the chest forward. So hips stay down, but the belly is lifted off the floor. And you could stay there, or maybe sliding the hands back, finding a delicious cobra. And by delicious, I mean opening up more through the thoracic. So that area that can tend to be a bit closed off in our modern life. And exhaling to lower. Okay, zipping up from heels to pubic bone to breastbone, and reaching back into downward facing dog. You could do a little heel press or a twisting down dog movement here if you like. Whatever brings you joy in this moment. And then from here, you can melt the knees down onto the floor. Feel free to stay in a kneeling position here, or if you can, sitting back onto the heels. So we'll get to diamond pose in a moment. Just a little shoulder stretch. So bring the right wrist to the, make sure you can see the wrist to the side of the waist. And then reach the left arm across, so that you're finding this stretch down the posterior deltoid again, and maybe left ear to the left shoulder. We won't be here too long, just enjoying a little intermission between sides. And then let's go to the other side. So left hand comes behind and using the right elbow. So make sure you can, so rookie error is often being too far like that. So it's really just the hand at the back of the waist. And enjoying that opening. It's a bit of a spot that you don't really get too much. So see if you can separate the teeth, maybe right ear to the right shoulder, and pausing. And then releasing the arm, give the shoulders a roll, and let's swing back around into your diamond pose. Cup the hands over the knees, inhale, lift and open. And exhaling, rocking back. Inhale up through center and exhale, forward fold. So just one of those. Inhale up and circle the arms all the way up. And we twist left this time. So twisting yourself around to the left side. Use the left hand behind you to create more lift and length. And then taking that, keep the right arm there and bring the left arm up and over. So you're in this kind of side bend position, thinking of a beautiful arc through that left side of the body. And then taking the arm and crossing it over. Some people like to go holding onto the knees. I prefer palms out and arms straight, but I'm an A cup, so that's fine for me. You do what you need to do here. Bowing the head in. Give it a couple of breaths, maybe melting the tension between the shoulder blades, like fairy floss or cotton candy on a humid day. Great. Okay, inhaling and coming up, let the palms touch. Exhale to circle around, interlacing, lift and open here. So going into our reverse table again, but then pressing into the feet and lifting up. So if this is enough for you, stay here. If you want to challenge it a little in the second time, bring the right knee into the chest and stretch the right leg up. Then right knee in and lowering down and switching to the other side. Left knee in and up. Be sure to point the toes. Inhale. Never know when there's a camera around. And sorry, I'm being very silly today. Okay, left knee in and coming down, and then bring the hips forward. So let's take more of a malasana position, but with the feet and knees together. So don't let me limit you. If you can do this with the heels down, then you go for it. I can't, but could use a block as well. So going towards Pasasana, which is the noose pose, you can bring the left arm around the outside of the right leg and opening out here. So the full pose is to come around into the bind. And then let's swap to the other side. As you inhale, create a little more length through the spine so that you can exhale and twist around a little more. And then releasing the hand down. So our standing flow will kind of be same, but different. Take an inhale, and this is where you might like the block. And I'd recommend being a little bit back from the edge of the mat. So lifting halfway up, lengthen through the spine, and exhaling to fold in. Come on up through your reverse swan dive, palms touch overhead, and exhale the hands down through Namaste. So we'll come through a Virabhadrasana 3. So inhale and take the arms all the way out and up. And exhale, fold yourself forward and down. Inhale into a halfway lift and stay there with the spine so you can then take the right leg back and into a Vira 3. So feel free to take whatever arm position works for you. This is just kind of like a transition though. So remember we stepped back before, so we're going to do that again. And lowering the back knee down. And then inhale to lift, same as we did before. Exhale, lower the hands down. Now imagine that you've got a target on your left calf, and then you touch the right knee to that. And then stepping all the way back and taking this high lunge. Inhale to come up and exhaling down. Then stepping forward, inhale, halfway lift. And then taking your left leg up. So with this left leg lifted, drop the outer left hip down more than you think you need to. Stay long through the spine, press through that back leg. Feel free to rearrange the arms, though this is just a transition to step back. And we're back into that smooth flow. Inhale up, exhale down. Remember the target on the back calf. Come forward, tap. Step back, crescent, back leg straight maybe. And exhaling. So flowing, but not a lot of chaturangas. So hopefully that's okay for you. Inhale, halfway lift. Floating the right leg up. Drop the right hip down. Brighten through that back leg even more. Then stepping smoothly back. Take the back knee down. Inhale up. And like you're riding a thermal down. Step forward, tap. Step back. High lunge, inhaling. And exhale to the earth. Stepping forward, lift halfway up. And then taking your left leg. So this is our last round. You can enjoy it when you know that this too shall pass. Sometimes you start to bring in more of a sense of savoring. So target on the calf and tapping. Then stepping all the way back. High lunge, inhale. And exhaling, lowering the hands down. You can step back into plank. Zipping up from inner heels to breastbone. Travel forward through a chaturanga. You could certainly come into a upward dog or a cobra. And then pressing yourself back. Downward facing dog. Holding for a moment. You can then melt the knees down onto the floor, crossing the legs over or swinging the legs around to the side. So just one more of these reverse table positions that we're then going to take into a figure 4 shape. So stay with me. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Again, I do fingers towards the corner of the mat. I'm a bit of a renegade like that. Inhale to lift it nice and high. Bring the right knee into the chest. Stretch it up, cross it over, figure 4. Press down through the hands, lift through the hips a little more. And then lowering the hips down to come into this eye of the needle or a seated pigeon type position. Maybe taking a little bit of rocking side to side. Just check that you're not collapsed down. Try and stay nice and lifted through the chest. And enjoying a couple more breaths here. And then into a hamstring stretch. So either Janushasana like that. Is this our right leg? I'm not sure. Or you could cross the leg over and be in this Gomukhasana shape as you then fold yourself forward and down. We won't be here too long. This can be quite strong on the sacroiliac joint. If you have any of those considerations, you might be better to stay definitely uncrossed and more upright. Couple of breaths, maybe a breath to let go. And just to add in a little activation again, bring the, so this is my left hand onto the floor and spinning over into a side plank. But whichever side works for you. It should be a 50-50 chance. Okay, unraveling and just enjoying a little bit of lift through the chest for a moment. Drive down through the inner heel, lifting the hips up. And then the other knee, left knee, comes in and stretches up, crossing over and again lifting nice and high. Then touching down as best you can. Keep that left knee away from you rather than it collapsing in. And you need to work internally. So you should feel your glute, that you're both stretching. And if you try and take the knee away from you, it's kind of working in the external rotation as well. Sorry, if you're not an anatomist, you might have glazed over, but hopefully the breath was compelling enough. So staying here, stay lifted through the chest. A little bit of rocking. And then into hamstring stretch. So stretching your right leg out, either foot to the inner thigh like a tree pose or crossing the leg over. So this is a half Gomukhasana position and folding forward. Focusing on length with every inhale. Maybe softening in a little deeper with each exhale. A couple more breaths here. Remember those sacroiliac cautions. And if you have any hamstring tendinopathy, cautions as well. Okay, you can then come on up and pivoting the right hand down onto the floor so that you can lift up into this easy side plank position or side plank variation. Love side plank. I think I'll have to do a side planking class. You can then come on down and unravel, and preparing for a little bit of Shavasana. Go on, you deserve it. So coming down, you can move into it through stages, and then eventually finding stillness, stretching the body out, and feel free to come into this position with the knees bent up as well, or a bolster under the thighs. And just enjoying a few moments, really very precious moments, to have this time to yourself,